Hi everybody, this is Catherine Peck. I've had a couple of requests to do a video on how I make my purse charms. I've done several videos on the ones I've completed, so I thought now would be a good time to go ahead and do that video. This is one of the purse charms I made recently using Jesse James beads. Here's another one. They're basically the same, just different colors. So let me go over the tools that we'll need. I usually have a couple of pairs of flat nose pliers, and then here's the other pair, and then I have these cutting pliers for cutting the wire, round nose pliers for twisting the wire around, and then split ring pliers, and that's so that you can split one of these keychain split rings. You can split the edges so that it's easier to get stuff off and on. So I think the first thing we'll do is put a couple of split rings onto the bigger split ring. I'm going to make a red and brown purse charm. So I'm just splitting that ring open. This thing is kind of thick, so it's a little bit hard to get on, this tassel. Oh, I didn't get it on. Okay, there it goes. So I'm just going to twist that around. Sometimes it's easy to use the split ring to pliers to help you kind of manipulate getting the piece around the actual split ring. This one is definitely kind of thick, definitely harder to get it to move around. So there, now that's on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that to the larger split ring, keychain split ring. And then I take a piece of chain, usually about 6 links, and I'm going to put that on another split ring. And this is what we'll add our beads to. This chain is a little bit thick, so, well, that didn't work. Try it again. Sorry to keep going in and out of frame. Gosh, I don't usually have this much trouble. It's just, I'm sure, because I'm on camera and I'm holding this stuff kind of far away from me. Well, get a little bit closer to the edge. Well, this is a little embarrassing. It's usually not this difficult. Let me pull this closer to myself so I can see if I can get it on there. Okay, so I got it on, and now I'm just twisting the chain around the split ring. And like I said, sometimes it's easy to just use the split ring pliers to help manipulate that piece. Around. Okay, now I'm going to take the bigger split ring, separate that, and then add this end with the smaller jump ring. This end, the smaller jump ring, onto this. And then we can start adding our beads. That's what that looks like. One thing I like to do before I really get going on my beads is to add the bottom. I'm going to add this heart to the bottom, and I'm also going to put that on a split ring. Let's see. I got these split rings at Hobby Lobby. I think it was at Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure it was. So I split that, and I got these hearts from AliExpress. One of the shops that's on there, but I don't think they're selling them anymore. Whoever I bought them from, I know I was, you know, getting the last of what they had. These split rings are definitely being tricky tonight. Okay, well, I think I just dropped that on the floor, so I did. All right, let's try this again. Okay. Now the next big challenge is to get this other split ring back on. I guess I'll just twist the link apart at the bottom of this. And add that heart on. Okay, so now I'm just putting this on the Okay, so I'm going to twist this chain back together, and you want to twist away from yourself and towards yourself at the same time. You don't want to split them side to side. So here we have that. And I'm going to show you how I do the head pins, how I twist them to make the loop. So here you have your head pins. And then you put on a bead cap. Here's one that's already done. Add your bead. Put on another bead cap. And then what I do, and I know people do it differently, but what I do is I take my round nose pliers and leave about that much space at the bottom. And I twist this around towards me and then turn it away from me and then kind of get it going around like that. And then you can take your flat nose pliers and then just start twisting it around. the stem until you reach the top of the bead. You want it to be wrapped around, not on top of each other, but just in one fluid motion. And then I just pull it up a little bit just to kind of get it away from the bottom. And take my cutting pliers and trim away the excess. And I usually try to hold on to this piece so it doesn't go flying all over the place. I have cats and I'd hate to have them swallow one of those. So then it looks like this, and then you'll take your round nose pliers again and kind of straighten things out. And then you want to fold the edge. There'll be a rough edge where you cut, and you'll want to use your flat nose pliers to flatten that down. So there's that. And you have a nice loop at the top. Let me do another one. Take your head pin, add your bead cap, add a bead, another bead cap, take your round nose pliers, give yourself about that much room, and then wrap this towards yourself, and then flip it around, and then twist it to kind of get it going. And then you just wrap this around the stem till you reach the top of the bead, usually about 3 or 4 passes. And then cut off this excess. Straighten up the loop, and then fold that cut off piece so that it lays flat. I just kind of go around in a circular motion. So there's that one. So let me show you how I put these on the keychain. You're going to split this loop using both pairs of your flat nose pliers. Split this apart. And then you're going to add a bead on one side. And then you're going to move the chain from one side of the open loop to the opposite side. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's hard for me because I'm having to hold this so far away from me. You've got your bead on one side, and then you're going to add a bead to the opposite side of the loop. Okay, so we've got a bead on one side, we've got a bead on the other side, and then you're going to add the chain back on there, your chain piece. And then you're going to close the loop back up. So then you've got your first set of beads on there, and they're on either side of the chain. That's what I was trying to explain. You're going to put a bead on one side of the loop, and then put the chain back on, and then put the other bead on the other side, so it flows down either side of the chain. So I hope that makes sense. And you just keep adding beads like that. That's what I do. So if you have any questions that I can answer for you, I hope this video wasn't too spastic. I just, you know, I don't know how good I am at explaining things. I don't know that I'm a very good teacher, but if I can answer any questions for you, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching. See you next time.